conversations on hot topics. Your host, JC Tevez.
Manila's hottest Monster RX93.1. What's going on? JC Tevez here, back with you tonight for more hot conversations here on Heard on Thursdays, the show that made FM radio talk. Only one station can make it happen. It's right here on Manila's hottest Monster RX93.1. So here we are again, MECQ once again, yes. And we are asked and tasked to help out in the war effort, so to speak, by staying at home. And if we have to go out, to quote a famous cop show, let's be careful out there. It seems like in all areas of our lives, we have to keep a delicate balance between being cautious and being commonsensical. For instance, being paranoid and being practical, isolating in your bubble and going out to earn a living, holding up in your safe spaces and keeping mentally and physically fit. Those two last things need not be mutually exclusive or the opposite ends of a graph. You can stay home and you can stay fit, believe it or not. What it takes is balance. And that's the subject of tonight's episode, exercise that involves balance. And along the way, helps keep your balance in this unsettled time. We have the co-founders of Balanse Fitness, the high quality and affordable balance board. They're fitness enthusiasts as well, up-and-coming marketing professionals and young entrepreneurs. We have Carlos Barreiro and Bea Baron joining us tonight. And of course, we welcome back the fitness coach and fitness consultant who was listed by wheninmanila.com as one of the 15 male online trainers who will motivate you to stay fit at home. James Sandoval. He is a body pump instructor at the Les Mills program at Fitness First, classified AIM 2 certified elite. Tonight, he is here to talk about Pilates, which he teaches at Option Studio Pilates Rehab. Heard on Thursdays, keeping the balance by keeping fit. Carlos Barreiro Bea Baron of Balanse Fitness and James Sandoval for Pilates. Let me bring them into the chat. What's up, everybody? Hello.
Hey, JC.
Hi, JC.
JC.
Hello. Thank you for joining us here this evening. How are you guys doing?
No, I'm doing great.
We're good.
Good as you can, right? I always start off the show by asking, besides your work, besides the balance boards that we were talking about, besides your balance fitness training, James and Carlos and Bea, we are asking you, what do you do for fun? What have you been watching on Netflix? Anything in particular that you've been hooked on last few days, last few weeks, months, year?
Well, I just finished Formula One. That was really interesting.
Formula One.
on yeah, Formula One on Netflix. It was really interesting. I'll
Yeah,
get right
right.
at it.
Survive.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, buddy. Yeah.
Nice.
But
How
I
about you,
haven't
Carlos?
tried. Carlos, go ahead.
Same for me, Netflix also. But then, I feel like everyone has been trying out new things. I've been trying to start cooking, learning how to be a quarantine chef during this lockdown.
Nice. What have you been cooking? What's your best dish
Oh
so
my
far?
gosh. Canned spam. Is that a dish? No, I'm just kidding. I'm trying out like Japanese curry. That's something
Okay.
I learned recently and
Nice.
something I've been trying to perfect.
Great. Yeah, we've had James on the show before, and I know James is, despite how fit James is, he loves food. So,
Yeah, I
Wow.
do. I definitely love cooking. That's one of my passions.
Bea, how about you, Bea? What's going on in your life besides working on Balanse Fitness? What else is up in your life?
I'm currently studying actually, so I'm a student.
Oh,
So I'm
wow.
taking up community nutrition in UP Diliman. So that's what's actually keeping me busy these past few days, aside from balance. So yeah.
Okay. How is the online schooling? I never
Oh my
had to go through it. I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, but fortunately, I feel like it's fortunate. I never had to kind of go on online school. What is it like? Is it rough?
Um, the first thought of it is actually nice because you don't have to drive anymore to school. But after a while, it hits you na parang, oh my God, this is so much harder because you're on the screen 24/7. So, and you don't get a break. Like, there's no boundary between work and school. I guess it's also for the working class. So it's really difficult because you miss out on the opportunities that you can have outside of class. But overall, I think it's also been fun naman, despite that.
Cool. Have you had any technical mishaps in school, or maybe your friends? You ever see that get that 30, bro? Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know if that's something.
Not yet. I haven't experienced those, but I've seen a lot online.
Oh man, I feel like it's just something that's bound to happen during this kind of thing. But anyway, so we've talked about the how we're all kind of at home now, and you can't really go to the gyms. And James, I know that's something that you love doing, and that's where you that's where you usually go to work.
True.
So to James, and then after Carlos and Bay, you can also answer. Do you miss going to the actual physical gym? I know you can do stuff at home, but what about
Yes, I
physical?
do. I do miss it. I do miss it. Actually, I feel I miss the energy that I get when I go into class. Let's say you got in a typical class, like in my one of my classes in body pump, it's about 40 or 50 people inside the studio, and you
Mhm.
get that energy from all those people, and then like it's an adrenaline rush that
Yeah,
you can't replace anything else. But I don't know. We have to do what we have to do right now.
I mean, this was a time when you could actually like be with other people who sweat and maybe
Oh,
accidentally not worry about it, right? So
I know,
it's
I know, yeah.
so
Yeah,
moving forward.
those were great times. I hope so.
Yeah, Carlos, Bea, did you were you big fans of working out outside of your home as well, or have you always been enthusiast at working out at home?
Well, for me, I've never been much of a gym guy, like the usual bakal gym with all the weights. But definitely, I do miss going out. Like
Okay.
me and Bay used to spend a lot of time in like climbing gyms and
Mm,
like at the beach and stuff. And those are things that unfortunately, we can't really go to now. But yeah, I mean, we're glad to have these other opportunities to be able to work out at home.
mm. How about you, Bea?
Same
Same thing.
actually. I'm more of a person who really does active things outside. Like I used to also attend classes in the gym. Like I was part of like a membership in the gym before where I take different classes, just have fun. I just really like the gym because I used to make it my playground. So I definitely do miss going out and having all that fun.
Mm. When the world was put on lockdown, was it on an immediate thing in your minds that I have to find a way to stay in shape, or did you take maybe a few months to kind of just chill out? Or like me, it's been almost like 2 years of just chilling out, not doing anything.
I guess for the ladies first. Ladies first.
Okay, actually, no, fitness wasn't a priority when lockdown happened. Well, for me, since I didn't think it was gonna last that long,
Same,
and
same.
I thought it was gonna end soon, so I didn't bother much. Like I thought it was a good break from my usual routine, but then eventually I realized that it was going to end soon. So I had to adjust and find ways to bring back being active in my life despite just being at home.
Mm. How about you, James? What was as someone who does it as a profession? What was it
Actually,
like?
when it was almost going to be lockdown, I was actually on my way to vacation. I was supposed to go to Boracay. I was supposed to go to Boracay on the day that on my flight going to Boracay. That's when they announced it's going to be a lockdown. So for about a week, I wasn't working out. I was just having fun at home, just doing whatever you do in Boracay. What stays in Boracay, you just do it. So I just did it for the whole week till I felt a little bit sluggish. Then I started to work out, but it was quite different because I actually miss my students. My students are the ones that actually just really drives my passion. And when I
Mm.
see them with that all that energy that they bring in to the class, that's what drives me to go more crazy and more happy. Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about how you've conducted online classes in a bit, but let's talk to Carlos and Bea muna for let's talk about Balanse Fitness. First of all, when did you come up with this idea? The concept of the product. How long has this been going? How long has Balanse Fitness been actually out and about in the world?
Well, I guess I could answer that. Balance really started as a quarantine baby, like
Mm.
one of those ideas you have when you're locked up at home and you're not really doing anything. It really came out more as like we missed the beach. Actually, same as James. I was about to go to Siargao on the day of the lockdown, and then I super missed that feeling of being at the beach and of surfing. And that's when I had this idea that what if we sort of replicated that feeling and brought it to like our own bedrooms in our backyard, that feeling of being at the beach. So that's when we really got the idea for it, and we really started trying it out and having a lot of fun. And then we decided maybe it would be a good business.
Yeah, so it was actually during the pandemic when you came up with this or the concept for your business.
Yeah.
What? So have you been a long time surfer then, Carlos Bea? Have you been surfing as well, or you just really just like the balancing on a board?
I'm new, but
Um,
Bea is a long time surfer.
yeah, but I'm not a pro. Like my family and I would regularly go on the different surf sites in the Philippines, so like Baler, Siargao, La Union, Zambales, and just surf regularly together.
Mm. So when you created this, I'm sure you had the intention. Besides wanting to recreate the feeling of being back on the beach, of course, there is a fitness element to it, a fitness aspect to it. Uh, for those people who maybe don't have a mental image in their mind, can you tell them what exactly a Balanse Fitness board is and how it works and what it does for your fitness and how it actually helps you physically?
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and describe what the board looks like. It's sort of like a wooden oval board that's a little bit shorter than you would expect. It's not like a full-on surfboard, but it's also a little bit bigger than you would expect, like a skateboard to be. And then there's usually a roller, which is like this cylindrical object that you put in the middle of the board. And then the fun and where the exercise comes in is trying to be able to balance the board on top of the roller. And other people, they like to call it a wobble board because there's lots of different types of balance boards, like the Bosu board, as James was saying earlier. The wobble board is sort of just wobbling left and right, trying to find your balance and trying to work out those legs in your core.
Mm. So how exactly? I mean, because someone who like me has never really done any sort of balance exercise. Maybe James can chime in on this, even though you're not part of Balanse Fitness. I'm sure the concept of balancing on a wooden board. How exactly does that strengthen your core and your legs and like what exactly is like the physics of it?
Bea, do you want to go ahead and answer that?
Um, we can show you how it works. I have a board right here.
I guess
You
so.
want to
Yeah,
see
for
how it
those of
works?
you who are on air, you can check it out facebook.com/rx931. We have, yeah, if you want to give us a little
Okay,
example. Then I guess
I can give
James,
you
or Carlos, you could kind of narrate what exactly.
Well, in trying to find balance, trying to find balance is not just using the bigger muscles in your body, the obvious one, the bicep, the shoulder, and everything. It's actually using the smaller muscles that's actually holding your skeletal system, your spine. So that means your smaller muscles are the ones working harder than anything else. So it's not core doesn't mean just abdominals. It's actually
Right.
the whole body, the whole body. So with Balance, when I look at it, and I've seen a couple of those already, it's really working hard to get what I call stillness, stillness while you are on an unstable surface.
Mm,
So when you get that, especially when you're balanced right in the middle, that's what I always see, balance in the middle, and then you start to sway on side, left to right. That takes a lot of core and a lot of balance. It has to be like the center. So everything
right.
has to be steady. You can't be right or right hand heavy, left hand heavy. Everything
Mm,
has to be in unison just to get that balance. Like
got it.
that. Exactly.
Yeah. So for
Yeah.
those of you listening on air, if you check out our live interview as well on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, you can see one of our guests, Bea. She is balancing on the board. So while she's doing that, Carlos, I wanted to ask you, the way James talks about balance, it seems like it's a very Zen kind of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've never been a surfer kind of guy, but whenever I talk to surfers about how they ride the waves and they feel like they're kind of just lost in it, is there something like a mental benefit to a balance board as well in terms of once you're on it and you're centered and you have everything controlled by your body. Does it also
Mhm.
affect your mind? Is that something that you've looked into
Yeah,
when
for
research?
sure. Actually, if you look at just the mental aspect of balancing, it's really just supposed to be a passive thing. Your balance is not meant to be something that you think about a lot. So if you
Mm,
look at some athletes, for example, when they usually use a balance board of some sort, they're using it as a sort of a functional exercise rather than more of like strengthening and conditioning their core rather than actually trying to, like, for example, gain mass in any one muscle group. It's
mm,
supposed to like help your overall balance, which has a lot of applications in your life. And also, um, when you feel more balanced, I feel, just as a personal experience, it really helps your like mental health. When you feel physically confident in your skin and you feel like you're really relaxed doing something, you sort of get lost in the feeling and get
mhm.
into this sort of focus state where you can do other things. Like we
I see.
have some customers actually who have shown us that they use the balance board for all types of other things. Like we've had customers who hula hoop on the balance board, or they play electric guitar, or they even attend some of their meetings on the balance board because it sort of helps them like not be so focused on whatever it is they're doing, but rather like free themselves from that activity. Yeah.
I see. I see. I see Bea smiling in the background. Bea, do you have any other stories or testimonials that maybe are memorable for you from your customers at Balanse Fitness?
Yeah, it's actually really nice to see what they can do with their board. Like some even play the guitar. Actually, that's what impressed us the most when he was rocking out and his guitar while balancing on the board. Like we didn't know that was actually possible. Like some would
Mm,
also do squats, like show us their different tricks on the board. So it's just really nice to see, what they can do with our product.
that's cool. That's cool. And I see James kind of nodding in agreement. And James, I'm sure you've seen this with your students when you teach them elements of fitness that maybe involve balance and core strength and kind of clearing your mind. How does it feel, James, as an instructor when you help so many people kind of reach this level of mental clarity and physical clarity? I guess.
It just feels
All.
amazing. It just
Mhm.
feels amazing, JC, because for an example, I actually have a client who does wakeboarding. When she first started, she could only just go one round, and she was like flat out, that's it, I don't want to do it anymore. After a couple of sessions doing balance training and strengthening, she was doing like 7 rounds and she wasn't tired. She had like a
Wow.
bad she had like a bad sunburn, but she was still on it. She was still wanted to do it.
Nice.
It feels very fulfilling. It's one of the things that I believe with the other guys here, that they feel that when they see other people, are able to do stuff that are not really kind of impossible, but they're doing it, so it's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Yeah,
That's great.
yes,
I'm
sir.
sure. I mean, because you were talking about the Bosu ball earlier, pre-interview. I'm sure in your sets of equipment, I guess you don't have a balance board or a balance board in your arsenal yet. But is
Yeah.
this something that you would now that you've heard more about the product and more about how it works? Is it something that you feel like could be incorporated in your field, not just maybe your instruction, but just across the fitness industry? Is that something that you
Most
see being?
definitely. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. It's
Yay.
balance. Balance is one of those things that we need every day. It's not just something that you just do it on the fly and then like, oh, I can do this or whatever it is. It's something that we need every day because a lot of people would get those tapilok or trip or whatever it is. There's actually a balance issue. That's
Mm-hmm.
actually some of the parts of the body that are not developed or underdeveloped that needs a little bit more strength. And one of those equipments, like your balance board, guys, is one of those perfect equipments to really help people, especially now that everybody's sitting around most of the time at home.
Very
Yeah.
They need more.
So Carlos Bea, is this because I've seen similar products in the past, but this seems like a relatively new kind of thing. Is it safe to assume that this has only been around, let's say, within the last 3, 4, 5 years, or has this been around longer than I know? Because maybe I just never really looked into it.
Well, I think it's been around for a little bit longer than 5 years. Not very long, but definitely in the country, it's relatively new.
Relatively.
Actually, when we were looking into getting one, that was sort of one of the inspirations we had for starting the brand, was that we couldn't really afford
Yeah.
importing one, or buying the current brands here, because
Right.
there was probably one or two that were really, they were really expensive. So at more than 5,000 pesos, we really couldn't afford to do it, especially since it wasn't something that we was already currently part of our regular workout. But then, yeah, we had that idea of like bringing it in, especially for people like us who like to make fitness fun. They it's like it's not just for the practical aspect, but also because we enjoy being active. So we wanted to
Right.
make it like a price where someone could just pick it up and then try it out and then see if they like it.
Okay. So Bea, why don't you talk about like the production of it then? It's all made locally. Where do you get? I mean, I don't know if it's like a trade secret. Maybe you can't tell anybody. But like, how is it? It's locally made and produced. I'm assuming because of the cost. You said you're looking at it to be affordable. So I'm guessing you're not importing materials from across the world. It must be made locally. Is that? Am I correct in assuming that?
Um,
Here's a secret. It's a secret. You don't have to tell anybody.
it's a secret.
It's a secret. Can you tell our listeners about the pricing of it and where they can purchase it?
It actually costs 2,850 for the entire set. So the set includes the canvas bag that comes with it, the heavy duty roller, the wooden board, and our yoga mat. And you can get it online. So you can just check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/balance.fit, and our IG account at balance.fit, and send us a message and we'll guide you through the ordering process.
Cool. Great. And you mentioned that it comes with the roller and the yoga mat, which you can use for different kinds of exercises as well, right? I mean, you can use that for other yoga, and then I don't know what
Yeah.
else you can use it for, but you can use it. Can you use it to as like a what do you call that, James? What do you call that when you roll your like when you use a tennis ball sometimes? What do you call that?
Foam
Oh,
roller.
a foam
Roller?
roller.
Can you use a foam roller, or is
Yeah.
it too hard?
You can actually use it as a foam roller. So basically, the purpose of our board of our set was actually for it to be multi-purpose. So aside from our roller being used to balance, again, it can also be used as a foam roller. So you can use it to loosen your tight muscles, to use it as your warm up or cool down exercises, or to include it in your workout itself. So you can do body saws, um, reverse crunches. I've actually tried it myself, and it's not that hard. So it's possible. And also our yoga mat. We decided to put the yoga mat there because we've noticed that a lot of people have been using yoga mats, especially now that we only do workouts at home. So there. And then our wooden board as well. It's not just used as the board to balance, but you can also do other tricks. Like if you want to upgrade your regular workouts, give yourself a harder challenge, you can do push-ups on the board, squats. You can even do balance ropes on the board if you have. So yeah.
Cool. And you know what? Another thing that you could do is Pilates, right, James? I'm sure you could do Pilates on that. My little
True. Yeah.
segue to
True.
James.
You can do actually a couple of stuff. I'm already thinking about doing planking on that thing, and it's going to be awesome for sure.
And Carlos and Bea, they said that they're not only are they the owners or the founders of Balance, but they're also fitness enthusiasts. So I'm sure that they'd be interested to hear in what you have to say, James, about your work and what you do. So let's talk about Pilates first. What exactly is Pilates for those of you who don't know what it is, you've just heard it in an episode of I don't know. I don't know.
Pilates is one of it's one of those. It's an exercise. It's a system actually. It actually focuses on whole body commitment. It's not only the misconception. A lot of people when they think Pilates is just core, it's actually not. It's actually the whole body commitment where the body really works and really focuses on centering. That's one of the things. Another thing is breathing, because that's the most important thing. So when you go into a Pilates school or the studio, you'd hear that from people. They say inhale and exhale and everything like that. One of the reasons there is breathing helps with the circulation of the blood in the body. So one of the benefits is like one is you're losing weight while not moving that much. Actually, it looks easy, but it's not actually. Another misconception is people think that Pilates is easy, but once they try it, they know it ain't. Second, breathing actually with Pilates, it was developed. I actually told you about this one, JC, last year, I believe.
Last year.
Yeah, last year, where Pilates was actually born out of a pandemic. It was born out of Spanish flu. So Joseph Pilates actually developed that because he noticed people that were getting sick, that were stuck in their beds, they can't move. He had to figure out a way for them to move. So he developed a system that actually have people on their beds still working out, getting better, and a lot of them actually, didn't, sorry to say, but didn't pass away or anything like that. They were able to survive.
Mhm.
So that's his thing. So it carried on, and it's one of those programs that was actually encouraged by doctors to be used by people who also need rehabilitation, like problems with the back, problems with the knees, and everything. So it's everything. Once you get hooked, that's it. That's one of the things.
What is the main distinction between Pilates and yoga? Because the way you describe it sounds a lot like yoga.
And then there are certain, there are certain actually exercises that looks like yoga also, because Joseph Pilates technically got from different what do you call this, different programs to meld it into one seamless program, and you will actually notice some of the exercises also are from ballet. That's why one of the exercises that we see, it looks like a ballet move, because it was actually also made for ballet dancers. So I believe those people who see it like, it looks like ballet. It actually does, and it ain't easy. So yeah, and another difference is, like I said last year, if yoga has a tendency to go from A to B, in a sense, like say if you want to touch your toes, you touch your toes. Yeah, you just bend and you fold from the hip and you touch your toes. In Pilates, we go the long way. We figure out the spine has to go long and follow the natural curvature of the spine to reach your toes. So everything has to be in alignment. For that, yeah.
Carlos Bea, have you ever tried Pilates or I guess yoga if you haven't tried Pilates? Carlos, are you a Pilates guy? Have you tried
No,
it?
I haven't tried Pilates, but I have tried yoga. And actually, I feel like one of the things that keeps me from doing like yoga and Pilates is like I'm not a very flexible guy. I feel like that's something that I see a lot in online or like in on TV when it comes to yoga and Pilates. Like you have to be very flexible. You're like touching your toes, and that's not something I'm very good at. So I'm actually curious as to what James has to say about being
Carlos,
flexible.
when I first started, I was like you. I wasn't flexible also. Then and it was just an eye opener that I wasn't able to do it. Even if I was strong enough, I wasn't able to do it. I mean, I do in my classes, I do a lot of crunches and everything. And just one simple exercise from Pilates principles, I couldn't do it. I practiced and practiced, I still couldn't do it. So one of the things, it was a humbling experience. Then I got hooked, and now it's pretty good. I can't say it's easy. There are days that it's going to be, there are days that it's not good. Your body's saying, nah, not today. But, it's addicting. It's addicting, actually.
Great.
So don't worry, you can still do it.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like something that I want to try now because I definitely want to develop my flexibility.
I feel you on that one. I mean, I haven't touched my toes since probably birth. I don't know. I've never really done it.
And I'm still waiting, JC. I'm still waiting.
How about you, Bea? Any background with Pilates or yoga at all?
I've actually never tried Pilates, but I've always wanted to, except the people have been telling me that it's really a lot more challenging than yoga. So I've never had the guts to try because I'm like, I'm too weak for this. So maybe not. But when I
Okay.
get the confidence, maybe I will.
Well, James, you've been administering Pilates classes online now. So if somebody like, let's say, Carlos and Bea, who are maybe interested now more, or their interest has peaked regarding Pilates, what exactly is the program that you've been teaching online, and how can students maybe reach out to you to take that class?
Sure, sure. One, you start off with just looking at how the person moves. So I will have them do some couple of exercises. Actually, the first thing, I'll have them just stand up, and then just do movements, like just relax or whatever it is. And I would actually see what are the discrepancies of the body, what needs to be, put in attention. Not most people, they're not familiar that you actually, when you stand, you actually have to feel all 10 toes down on the ground. Most people are heel dependent, or their weight is always on the heel. So they're always have to shift it back, where your body's actually supposed to be slightly tilted forward. That's how it goes. So I look at that. Then I start to develop a program for them, and I make sure that, let's say, for some people, like I have a client that has back problems or scoliosis or other stuff like that, that I tailor a program for them that they can do, and then that will help them with what ails them. That's one of the things. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do with online, and it's great.
Yeah, you're also a certified elite body pump instructor.
Yeah.
What is our listeners what body pump is? People might have heard the term thrown around. Is it like Billy Banks?
Oh, no. That's we have actually a certain program in Les Mills that is like that. It's called Body Combat. I'm also trained in that, but I'm more focused on body pump, because that's what was my first love. So pretty much body pump is an hour of an exercise, 1 hour exercise with weights. So
1 hour.
imagine 1 hour. Yeah. So imagine you're doing weight training, one track with the music. Actually, it's with the music, with beat. So you follow the music, you follow the beat. So let's say for the 10 tracks, that's 10 tracks, including the warm up and the cool down. You follow the music. There's certain choreography in it. There's certain weights that are associated with, let's say for squats, this is your weight selection. But I always, when I have them in class, I always tell the clients just to load down. Even the bar, that's okay. And sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. When they don't listen, that's when they know. That's when they discover, oh, I should have listened to him. Yeah, but pretty much that's it. Yeah, so let's say for 5 minutes straight on, and then you only got about 2-3 times of rest, 8 seconds in between that 5 minutes. That's pretty much it. So it's really, building up long, lean muscles.
Wow.
That's what the body pump is like.
And are you still able to teach body pump classes during this pandemic, James? You're still able to
right now, not really actually, because one of the things is with group exercise, you gotta have a lot of people inside, and they're still not allowing that. So well, now they're starting to teach it right now online. They're not starting to teach it online, but I haven't actually yet found a proper time to give to clients, because I'm also busy with my Pilates clients online. So I'm trying to balance everything out as much as I can. An average of 3-4 clients in a day, and then you've got classes and other stuff. So pretty much, yeah.
So when you teach remotely, James, it must be very, it must be a huge shift, because you can't actually physically correct your clients', let's say, posture or their position. So how exactly have you trained yourself to kind of deal with that? Like, have you come up with, turn 90 degrees left or something? I don't know how you.
One of the best, the biggest challenges I have. It's a good thing though that I got trained by Les Mills, because in Les Mills, when I stand on the stage, I'm your mirror. So let's say for Carlos, my right shoulder is actually your left shoulder. So pretty much if I say this is my right shoulder, all right, that's going to be your left shoulder. So that's one of the challenge. Yes. So see, so he's like, oh yeah, this is my left, right? So my right is your left is my right. So pretty much that's one of the challenges there, because it's hard to really coach somebody like, okay, reach with your right arm, but it's the same arm that you're reaching for the past few exercise. So you gotta be like that. And one of the things is also that you have to be very imaginative and really, really tell people like, let's say one of the Pilates exercises where you just whether you roll up to a body or anything like that, or tuck in the chin. I would just say that imagine there's an orange in your throat, and you're trying to just hold that orange as you come up. Those are the things. For the ladies, my apologies, but it's like imagine your bra strap in the back when you're wearing your sports bra. Imagine that, and that's lifting up to the ceiling. So when people are like, oh yeah, yeah, they can do that, yeah, and then they start to move. So you really have to be, I mean, very, very good in your coaching and really think out of the box. I mean, one of my mentors was awesome to tell me like, you imagine you're like taffy, you're like melting and like that, and then my client's like, oh yeah, it feels like that. So yeah, it's pretty much the head part of it, yeah. And how to
You
get
have
it,
to be
how to do
very
it, yeah.
descriptive. You have to be very descriptive. So
The
James,
very-
please invite our listeners if they're like, man, I want to do Pilates with James now. I want to arch my back really well.
yeah.
Reach out
So
to you. Where can they find
yeah,
your programs?
yeah, they can actually go to Instagram. They can look for Option Studio Shangri-La Pilates Rehab and more. And also in Facebook, we have that also. When everything's open, the studio is right there in Shangri-La Mall. It's on the fifth floor under
Okay.
Option Studio Rehab and more. Yeah.
Yeah. Hypothetically, James, if let's say the pandemic ended like next week, how long do you think it would take for people to get comfortable to go back into the gyms, into the I don't know, the Bakal gyms as Carlos said earlier? How long do you think it would take for the fitness industry to kind of regain its balance, pardon the pun, its balance in the world?
We are looking at it with talking about with other fitness friends of mine or in management and everything. We're looking at it around the earliest will be 6 months for people to be comfy.
6 months.
Maximum will be 2 years for you to gain traction, like full. Everybody's going on, because everybody's still gonna be cautious by that time.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I saw the dip actually in the studios. When I was actually in the studio, I saw the dip in clients coming in when they start to have that spike in the numbers. So I'd see numbers in the morning that people are not coming in anymore. They want to go online again and everything like that. So I said to myself, something's gonna happen. A few days later, ECQ got announced. So pretty much I would say like, yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully, the fitness industry kind of regains its footing in the near future as early as possible. But in the meantime, of course, they can do things at home. Carlos Bea, once again, would you love to let our listeners know where they can catch where they can get your Balanse board, and of course, where they can find you guys online as well if they want to reach out to both of you.
Yeah, sure. So if you guys have any questions about balancing or our boards, you can actually reach out to us via email as well. So you can email us at contact.balance@gmail.com. But if you feel like you're ready for to take that next step and get your own board, bring the beach to your own bedroom, you can reach us on our social media platforms on Instagram at balanse.fit and also facebook.com /balanse.fit for any of your questions, or if you'd like to order. Also, we have some workouts, some sample workouts from some of our customers that we show on there, so you guys can get an idea of what it's like.
Nice. And Bea, anything you want to tack onto that? You want to add on to that?
No, I
Comprehensive.
said it all. Yeah, it's all good.
Okay. Anyone you two want to say hello to? I know Carlos, you're in CDO right now. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm in Mindanao right now. I'm in Cagayan de Oro for my job. So yeah, I'd love to say hi to my mom. I'm pretty sure she's probably watching right now.
Nice.
She's back in Manila. So hi, mom. That's it.
Hi, Ma'am Ching. How about you, Bea? Anyone you want to say hello to? Your friends, family, maybe your clients that have bought a board in the past. Maybe you're watching.
I just like to say hi to all of my family and friends who are watching right now. I know they're watching, so hi. That's all.
Okay, and of course, James, where can they find you again? Whether you're personal, I know you on your personal Instagram. I know you mostly post food, so I don't know if that's. But if
I
anyone
know, I
wants
know.
to go ahead and say hello to them, and of course where they can reach out to you for your.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, she in Facebook you can just look at it. Find it James Sandoval. You're actually gonna see me there having a Pilates move as one of my profile pictures. Also in you got Instagram. Just search for TPSY James. That's where you're going to find me also. And also Option Studio Pilates Rehab and more. That's one of that's where I work right now in studio. Yeah.
Great. Anyone you want to shout out? Do you have any friends, family watching?
Yeah, friends and family abroad. Also, my coworkers at Option, they've been bugging me saying that shout out for them. So, Dennis San Diego, Clifford and Red. Hi guys, hope I got you guys in there, and
Hey,
and everybody in the chat that I've been seeing my friends also. Yeah.
nice, nice. Actually, it seems like all three of you have a lot of fans that have been supportive in the chat. So I'm glad that they were able to catch it. Carlos Bea, thank you very much for joining us this evening, and remember to check out Balanse Fitness. And to James, it was a pleasure having you on the show again. And I hope to look as sexy as you the next time we see each other.
Thanks, JC.
Everyone out
Thank
there,
you.
join us again next week for more hot conversations here on Heard on Thursdays. My name is JC Tevez, and always have it locked in here on Manila's hottest Monster RX.